Oh, hey,
Yo,
what's going on? It's your boy Dubs and your other boy Armchair. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to
second time this week.
Look, hey, double dipping. We're trying to pull in as much attention to the boys as we can. Tank is doing God's work. That man deserves all the credit. He has been.
What's Tank doing?
Tank is every day for the last 6 days coordinating relief efforts up in Asheville on the radio. He was on the AM side for a while, and then they got the FM back up, I think. So they're just pushing out whatever information, getting all the safety info out, getting all the this person's donating things. You can pick him up here. He is on it.
Hero,
all day. Like when your community goes down, good people step up, and Tank is good people. So fire them cannons for Tanker. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, do something for the man. Hey?
Yeah, let's get a little Tanker jersey.
I sold I sold out a little bit, and I went and messaged them on on X, and I was like, do this. You should support
Help
this guy.
Man out.
Well, and then I thought about tossing it and going, do I do it? Do I post it live on Twitter and say what's going on and see if I can get some attention that way? But I really would rather I'm not doing that for the cloud. I just think the Tank deserves some recognition for what he's doing. And Tao's right. Yeah, Mark has been with them. They've had a couple of compadres out there working at.
I've thought about that a bajillion times, like the dynamic of being stuck in a radio station while, I assume his family is at home, and
Yeah.
Shouts out to the guy for still being in this crisis, still trying to help people out. It's
absolutely amazing
to his character.
Yeah, Dubs and I were here. We were live Sunday, which was
got killed.
Yeah,
got butchered. That 4-leg parlay that I gave out for the touchdowns was I think only 2 out of 4 hit, but the other 2 got stopped on the goal line combined, I think 7 times. There
were a couple where it was
battering.
God, it was Pollard touchdown, and they're like, we're gonna give it to Spears instead, and I was like, what are you doing?
I did. My saving grace of the weekend was a George Kittle touchdown and a Tajay Spears first touchdown. If I didn't have that, I don't know if we would have made it to the 0.
All right. Well, speaking of the Orioles, all right, we got a big show tonight.
It's a brutal weekend.
We got a brutal weekend. NFL was unforgiving.
Unforgiving, to say the least. Also, the fucking safety. The safety in the Dolphins Titans game. It's game's done, over, set and done. We're moved on to the fireworks that was the Seahawks Lions game, and then the fucking safety at the end of the game just ruined ruined a parlay.
I apologize.
That's gambling, baby.
You know what? I had a decent fantasy day. Some of the guys that I picked went off. Some did not.
I bet.
It's a pretty fun night. We got a lot. We got a big show tonight. Big show because we're gonna talk a lot of NFL. I got a bunch of stuff that we're gonna cover. NHL is
culminating.
Back.
It's the time. We have NHL starting up. We got MLB Playoffs, NFL football. It's basketball starting soon. All of my time is about to be consumed.
Let's start with the most pressing and current topic: Major League Baseball playoffs currently underway. Hey, don't let the Tigers get hot, baby.
Don't let the Tigers get hot. Somebody let the Tigers get hot.
I had a quote unquote spicy bracket where I picked the Tigers to move on over the Astros. LOL. I told you the Astros were wholly beatable. Their entire team was beatable, and I was correct. I did, unfortunately, have Stephen Tao's Orioles moving on, but we don't want to talk about them, or we do. We came on the show, and Dub said they needed more pitching, and I said they allowed 3 runs over 2 games. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's not the pitching. None of the hitters showed up. None of the kids showed up, unfortunately. What are you doing, though? You get a base runner. And
oh, my God. Ryan Mountcastle just sold so hard in the bottom of the 8th. They had nothing going on offense all game. 2 out, base hit in the bottom of the 8th, and then Ryan Mountcastle comes up and first pitch swings, ground out, goes. I had to have just sucked the life out of that clubhouse.
Entire
finally
clubhouse.
Get something going, and then just first pitch ground out.
No, there is no reason they couldn't have won game 1, except they had equal gems on the other side. Their pitching on the other side was great. I don't know what to tell you. They played so well.
Pasquatch had 2 hits today. Bobby Witt had a couple hits.
Kansas City's they're a unit, man. Kansas City's a team. Like they're not. I'm on 2 wagons right now. Two full wagons right now.
The AL Central.
I'm on the Tigers. Give me the Tigers all day long, and I'm still on the Phillies wagon.
I have Phillies Guardians. That's my World Series.
I love that for you. After spending like an entire 6-week stretch talking baseball and how shit the Guardians are because they're just playing people in the Central. Central's a terrible division.
I think they're winning it all.
Central's awful. Nobody likes the Central. 3 Central teams
time will do that for you.
Baseball will make every take look bad. Just give it 100.
They still had the lowest winning percentage of any division just because the White Sox were in the same division as them. Sent 3 teams to the playoffs, and they're still by win total the worst division.
Absolutely horrid. So Tigers are through. Kansas City's through. The Mets are through? No, not yet.
No, they're up.
They're up 3-1.
They just cleared the bases with a single.
Yeah,
at the top of the second.
Hey, White Sox. Hey,
every other series has been bereft of offense, but the Brewers and the Mets are going to do all of it.
All the offense.
All of it. Also, I feel for Lily and any other Brewers fan. You go to the playoffs every year just to get bounced in the first round.
Never win.
Never
Not
win.
a game.
You
barely
You barely win the division every year. It's competitive down to the end, and I think that gives you more of a we did it, we pulled it out, we made it happen, and then you just go get dusted.
Totally dusted.
I did see there's a $200 million difference in payroll between the Mets and the Brewers. That's got to be not in the history of baseball, but in recent memory, that's got to be one of the larger gaps in a playoff game. Playoff series.
I see with Voice of the Fans Canada coming out with White Sox Marlins 25 World Series.
Bet $1 on it, and you might be able to retire.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. We got one more game tonight. If the Mets hold, the Padres could make it a clean sweep in the first round. The wild card.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah. I saw that, Tao. I saw that post they had. It was Tigers 26-man for the playoffs is 18 million. And Astros, I forget who the pitcher was. It was whoever that was pitching, making 19. I think we're all Tigers fans in that instance. If you're not living in the greater Houston area, you're probably.
Detroit's back up. Lions are killing it. Tigers made the playoffs.
They're all the way back, baby. All the way back.
I posted that meme earlier. It's I want you to let everyone know we back up.
No one can stop me. I'm all the way up.
All the way up. Detroit's all the way up.
Who do you got based on
also
this?
Tariq Skubal? Don't worry about the Pistons, Dow. They don't count. The Easer plan's in full effect. They might even end up with Jeremy Swayman, which we'll get to in a little while. Little bit. We'll talk. I have a lot about Jeremy Swayman. But Tariq Skubal, that 94-mile-an-hour slider. You see that?
Filthy.
Absolutely nasty.
Totally filthy.
AL triple crown for pitching. It's going to be Cy Young. He's just a dog all around.
Total dog. It's ridiculous. All right, let's. I don't want to dwell too long. We get so much.
Can we talk about talking about Skubal? Why the fuck do we have Tariq Skubal and Framber Valdez at 2:30 on a Tuesday afternoon? Who's able to watch that?
Oh, Tao, we need to see the hoodie. Yeah, show the hoodie. Just show the hoodie.
That's what the hoodie says. Do with that information what you will.
LeBron is a communist. Hashtag LeBron is a communist. You have your premium pitching matchup at 2:30 on a weekday.
That's absurd. And then you want to be like, why is our sport dying? Why can't we get viewership?
Here's a thought. I'm at work.
Yeah, I work every day. I'm sorry. I don't have time to be sitting around watching baseball at 2:30 in the afternoon.
I am employed. So I'm going to have to, it's going to be,
and as long as I am employed, I will not be able to sit around and watch A1 pitching matchups in the middle of the afternoon. I just can't do it.
Do I want to? Sure.
Absolutely.
Make it 7 p.m.
If you make it 7 p.m., I'm there.
You make it 5 p.m.
5 o'clock. I'll probably be able to make it. Dude, for real, Tao, it's crazy. Like, I don't understand why they're doing that. Like, let's get these 2 wild card games in back-to-back days in the middle of the day. Like,
just play them at the same time.
If I'm not mistaken, same exact time slots, right? So people have probably only watched the fucking Braves and the Padres and the Mets and the Brewers.
Just play them at the same time. You flip between them. It's not that hard. You know how many screens people watch football on? Have you not seen like the amount of like people, if you want to watch, like if there are 2 things you want to watch at the same time, the amount of ways you can do that now is astronomical.
Right.
And like MLB is living like you have MLB is living like you can only watch one thing at one time. And it's like my brother in Christ, I can watch a game on my phone and my TV at the same time.
Right.
And then I have other TVs in my house.
To Tao's point
TVs.
in the chat, like I would be more emotionally invested in games if I could watch them. If I wasn't invested in Mets Brewers, but it's on at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna watch it, and maybe just because it might be on. Nobody's doing that in the middle of the day. It's absurd. And then they bitch about, oh, we can't get any viewership. Why is the sport dying? This is why. This is a solid reason why. You have no fucking idea how to shorten the season. Do it 20, 30 games less, and you'll free up 2, 3, 4 weeks in September where you could run the playoffs and actually put them in prime time and get the viewership that you think you should be getting.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
To Joiner's question, there used to be something. MLB extra innings. I don't know if they still do that. Either way, there used to be something where they would bring you around to like live action or like at bats of note, but they don't really have that anymore. It makes no sense. And this is the playoffs. It's not like it's regular season. I get it. Like the Cubs are going to play at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, and like I'm fine with that. But like it's the playoffs, man. This is your premium stuff, and you're making me watch it like this. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Makes no sense.
Why just the first round though, RC?
It makes no damn sense. Do you know what else makes no sense?
What's up? NHL preseason? What a segue.
What a segue. What a segue. What a pro.
Paul Blart level segue.
No, it makes no damn sense. So first of all,
another thing that should be shortened. We should not be playing games.
The rumor is they're trying to shorten the preseason to 4 games and add 2 regular season games to the schedule.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care about the regular season games. Just don't play as many preseason games. You're trying to make we got Patrick Laine going down. Kachuk is out.
List.
Celebrini's out. Like there's a whole bunch of guys that got hurt. And all of it was because of the preseason.
Panarin, Lindgren, Laine, Celebrini, Stutzel, Shabbat, Kachuk, Doughty, Nylander, Matthews. All of them got hurt at some point during the preseason.
It's just a little list.
What a colossal
waste.
Just an all-star team.
Awful. Lex. Yeah. I hate it. I hate the preseason. I think it's dumb. Also,
It's dumb. They shouldn't be playing. If you want to, like, obviously have a preseason, get skates in, like, even do like a joint practice type thing, like the NFL does. If you really want to get some sort of look at like 5-on-5 action, do something like that. Where it's like, all right, handshake agreement. We're going like 75% here. Nobody's getting. No, we're not checking. Like, it just makes no sense to be putting these star players out there on the ice when they're gonna get absolutely like Laine got his knee taken out by some dude that's not even gonna make the roster.
Big, we'll get to
That
you
sucks.
on Big. We'll get to Adams. Don't you worry. We'll be touching on that in a minute here. Laine hasn't even played a minute in regular season, and he got taken. Like, I get it in a game, like a real game, like that happens. Hockey injuries are hockey injuries, but holy hell, that is like the worst way things could go. Also, speaking of my Habs, Arbor Xhekaj is just out here wrecking people, just wrecking dudes. Yeah, Pare gets a knee on Laine, and Xhekaj says no.
No, that's not going to happen.
And he like ragdolls him. He probably should have got suspended for it because he was just punching him glove on in the back of the head. He probably should have got suspended for that.
He got fined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't swipe at him like I keep seeing this. Hold on. No.
Check him.
Let's walk this back. Bertuzzi skated full speed down the ice and like Superman punched Steve Moore in the back of the head. Arbor Xhekaj swiped at Pare after he grabbed his jersey and then punched him in the head. Did they both get punched in the head? Fact. Are they both likely not to have any impact from this anymore? I don't think so. I think Xhekaj is going to make the team, no problem, because he's there. And I think that Pare is an AHL player who was trying to make his mark and took out a flipping superstar for no reason. It's trash. It's absolute trash. And it was not Bertuzzi. I've seen nothing but incensed Leaf fans talking about how Pare, a absolute fringe AHL player, just got Todd Bertuzzi. No, he didn't. Shut up. Steve Moore like legitimately was injured, and that's it. No, not if Xhekaj connected. It's very different. It's very different. I'm looking at like he didn't chase him down the ice. He wasn't skating behind him. He didn't Superman sucker punch him from the back of the head. He punched him in the side of the head after he grabbed his jersey and he threw him down. Pare did intend to injure. That's the problem. He kicked the knee out. I know you're saying he didn't intend to injure. He kicked the knee out. 100% kicked the knee out. And if you look at the play, he had no business being on that ice. No business being on the ice with Laine. He couldn't keep up with Laine because he is not an NHL caliber player. Now, Tim Stützle,
a Leafs fan, by the way.
He is, yeah. Tim Stützle, everybody that's going to come and talk about how Tim Stützle got hit in the head, he got hit in the head by his own stick. He put his stick up to like protect himself from the hit, and it hit him in the head. You can watch the replay. I didn't love the like pulling Tkachuk down to the ice after, and I think that Xhekaj should have been suspended a game for the Pare incident because you can't jump a guy. That's just like you can't just sucker punch a guy. You can't jump him. He should have been suspended. But to say it was Bertuzzi level is asinine. It's the kind of like Leaf-focused media bullshit that we get every goddamn day in Canada. I'm so over it. No offense to RC. We love you, baby. Voice of the Fans Canada. Check them out. But like, God, I can't stand the Leaf-focused nonsense. Talking about an AHL fringe player when your guy's kicking knees out. Get out of here. I'm fucking mad. Heat me up. Just start the season late. Anyway. Hey, your goalie's getting cooked by their team, man.
Oh my God. I wrote an article on it today. It's going to come out Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Yeah. I checked that out in the newsletter. Subscribe if you're not. But we absolutely bungled this situation from the get-go. Trading Olmark when you knew you needed to sign Swayman. Dumb. Lose leverage right there off the get-go.
Yeah.
Then you go out and sign all these guys like Lindholm and Zadorov, and you burn up all of this cap space. And like every little move that they did throughout the offseason has just been burning that bridge with Swayman just a little bit more. And we're going to get to a point where it's not going to be repairable, and they're going to end up having to fucking trade him. I don't want that to be the case. Also, his Swayman. Let's start with the comments, right? Cam Neely comes out in a press conference and it hits us with they asked him about the Swayman negotiations, and he gave I'm not trying to bring contract negotiations out into the public eye, but if it were me, I'd have 64 million reasons why I'd be on the ice. Well, you don't want to bring contract negotiations into the public, but you just put a number out there. Like, it basically balls in Swayman's court. Hate it. What are we doing? We're the Boston Bruins. We're one of the most respected organizations in sports. Why are we going to do some petty bullshit? We'll get to fucking the Patriots also and their media handling in a little bit too. But go ahead. Sorry.
I also disliked I wasn't surprised at. Were you surprised at Swayman's ass? And I forget who was. I think it wasn't Neely right away, but it was other guy who was talking. He was like, "Well, goalies are trying to," and he goes, "I was."
Yeah, man. But you can tell he's pissed. He's over it. He's like, "You should have been done." And to be fair, if we're offering 8 and 8, they should sign it.
Of course, they should.
I don't know why they wouldn't. It's above what Saros got, and from the get-go, that's been the comp. Whatever Saros got is what Swayman should be getting.
Yeah.
Saros got 7.65, I think, 7.85, something in that ballpark. If Swayman's getting 8, you want to be here. You've already said that in the media. Just shut up and sign the contract.
Yeah.
But his agent is also the same guy that drug out Nylander's contract negotiations,
which he regretted immensely.
And he Johnny Gaudreau had to tell him to stop and let him sign the contract to stay in Calgary.
Yeah.
But this guy has a track record of this, but regardless, the agent came out that night and hit him with the.
We'll have to think about it.
Yeah, well, that number was never presented. So one side's lying. Either the Bruins are, which is against the CBA, and they cannot do, or his agent's lying, and Swayman should just sign the fucking deal.
He should fire his agent.
100%.
Call Alan Walsh immediately and get a real agent. You'll be fine. Alan Walsh takes care of his people. I'm not supported. He does not.
The Bruins also just did petty shit and signed a wicked low-level goalie today.
Yes. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they sure did.
They're all right, fine. We'll see you in December, motherfucker.
Corpusalo's getting your
they're holding Cam Neely back while he was signing the deal. I will do this.
We have so much to talk about. NHL coming up in the next few weeks. Preseason is dumb. RC wants to have a call-in segment. We're not. That's not this show, man.
No shot.
We
don't
don't
have time for Collins.
I don't have time for that.
Respectfully, we're on a schedule. I don't have time for Collins.
We're on a schedule. We got shit to handle here. We're not off the rails yet. The NFL happened. What a week. What a week.
For who?
For the Washington Commanders.
All right. We can start there. Let's do it.
Jane Daniels is him.
Jane Daniels is in fact him. He has more scoring drives than incompletions through 4 weeks.
He's
absurd.
He is so good.
Cliff Kingsbury's also killing it.
Crushing it.
I'm not saying he needs to go get another head coaching job. I don't think any of us want to see that, but he's absolutely killing the play calling for Washington.
This is what happens when some people are just really good. Like Romeo Crennel is not a good head coach. Coach a hell of a defense. They do the one thing. There's really good coordinators who probably shouldn't be. Should Ben Johnson be a head coach? Probably. But he's doing a real good job coordinating right now. And I'd be like, you sure you want to leave this? You sure about that? Josh McDaniels is a great example of it.
Great example. He's the ultimate great coordinator, bad head coach guy. We've seen it twice. He backed out of the Colts job. He's just not a head coach guy.
Kiff is not a head coach. He is not. But he's a great coordinator.
Great coordinator.
Great coordinator.
Magic with Jaden Daniels, who is indeed a dog. They're doing all that with a terrible offensive line, too. I think I heard they were 23rd, 24th, something like that. They're bad. It's a bad offensive line. And they had, I don't remember how many it was 14 straight scoring drives, something like that, somewhere in that ballpark. It's absurd. They're absolutely killing it. The defense has been pretty shit, giving up a lot of points. They did pretty good against Arizona, who's been pretty high scoring through the first 4 weeks. But other than that, they've given up a whole lot of points. But they're coming along.
He has an 82.1% completion percentage.
Yeah. It's because he just completes pass. They run a lot of RPO, too, which is, I'm not trying to fault him. It's working. Like, he's just been fantastic. Everything they've asked him to do, he's done that. And you can tell, like, the locker room's totally behind him already, too. It looks a lot like CJ Stroud last year. It's the same story. He's not
gonna be the same yards though. Like let's put that out there. CJ Stroud had a 4,000.
They're different quarterbacks. They're not the same QBs. The story is
but they are like
they obviously got drafted second overall each. Like they're going to be compared for a long time.
Do you know who's leading the league in passing yards right now?
Sam Darnold?
No, that would be amazing. It's Geno Smith. It's Geno Smith.
I didn't know that actually.
Baker has 984.
He did. What did he throw for like 3? Did he go over 400? If he didn't, he was super close in the Lions game.
Yeah, he's got a 72%. Geno's got 4 TDs and 4 picks, but he's got a 72% completion rated. 1182 yards, baby, through 4 games.
Nico Collins leads the league in receiving right now by a lot. Who would have thought that? By a lot.
Yeah.
So Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell. No, it's Nico Collins. It was always Nico Collins.
I hope so. I mean, I like it.
This is a dynasty team, so I'm a big fan of it.
This is the thing. They're making Jaden's life super simple. They're not asking him to do anything. It's football's already hard.
I'm sure people in here follow Brett Coleman on YouTube, but he had a video yesterday or 2 days ago about diving into Jaden Daniels, and it's the same thing that Joyner just said. They're not asking him to do too much, and he's excelling at the things that they are asking him to do.
Doesn't take much.
Nope. Also, they've changed that culture around in Washington quick, huh? Dan Snyder sells the team, and all of a sudden shit starts going right.
It didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. They were
not long.
No, we should be doing this better. So, and they are. Like they're doing so well. I love to see it. I love to see it. You want to talk about our train wreck of a team for a minute? It's not going to take long. It won't take long.
Yeah, I guess. R.I.P. David Andrews. First of all, he may have taken his last snap.
He's going to retire, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure he's going to retire. We're too bad. We're not going to compete. He's going to be out at least a year. He thought about retirement last year.
I hate that.
I don't think he comes back, which sucks. He's like one of the last bits of the dynasty.
I love them.
I love David Andrews. Yeah, it's just always think of him at the parade that year, just shirtless and blackout drunk.
Goff has more tutties than Kelsey and Mark Andrews.
There was a point in that game last night where Jared Goff had more receiving touchdowns than Tyreek Hill had yards.
Yeah. Amon-Ra has more TD passes than Caleb Williams, maybe?
As many.
Yeah, as many. Yeah.
1-1.
Yeah.
No, we were terrible. That game was awful. Can we also stop with the clamoring for Drake May? He's going to die. We cannot put him behind that offensive line. Jacoby Brissett is dying actively. His organs are just failing. There's no rib cage left. It's been.
I need him to. He needs to survive a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer. I'm willing to sacrifice Joe Milton too. We can go get sign some other scrap heap up there.
There's
Just
100
be a
Joe
training
Miltons up
dummy.
there.
Exactly.
100 Joe Milton.
We can get rid of Joe Milton or two before we have to sacrifice Drake May.
We'll take Bailey Zappi.
I don't want to see him play this year. I was like on the team of like we'll see him like late in the season. I don't want to see it anymore.
No,
just
keep him out.
Sit him down.
Keep him out.
And then every time we send another quarterback out, we get the unit lost icon on the screen. We have we just show him like that could be you.
Yeah, that's you. This
keep
is your
that
future.
Clipboard. Keep doing your homework, and we'll see you in a year or two.
Yeah, we need to draft like everyone. Just trade everyone right now. We're doing all right. Polk is getting separation, but
Polk's great. That was also a catch, by the way.
Yes, it was. It was a catch.
I don't understand. 100% a catch.
I don't understand how that wasn't a catch, but it was a catch.
Yeah, 100%.
Dez caught it. That guy caught it.
It was a bad game all around. Defense doesn't look good. Gerard Mayo needs to shut the fuck up.
He needs to stop saying things.
Like immediately. There's like we took Bill Belichick for granted a little bit in that department where he just never allowed the door to be open for the media to be a problem.
Never.
Just never allowed it. Gerard Mayo, every time there's a microphone or a camera in front of his face, he answers every single question with whatever's on his mind. There's no like, I should probably keep this one. Talk to the chat. Like, there's none of that.
You can't tell the media that you're going to bench your best offensive player because he's got a little bit of the fumbles. You can't do that.
They literally, Mayo was like, yeah, we might bench him. And then they went over to Ramondre and they're like, hey, Mayo might bench you. What do you think? Literally, it was like within an hour that the Ramondre response came up.
Oh, don't play
Ramondre. What
Ramondre,
are you doing?
Stop it.
Stop doing that shit. Ramondre took it like a champ and handled it professionally because he's a dog. And
yeah,
I think it's Mayo Tao. He just puts his foot in his mouth every single week. He keeps contradicting himself. He keeps saying shit for no reason. And it hasn't been a massive problem yet, but this Ramondre situation is a slight one.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Look at Darius Slay and the Eagles. The second he went on Micah's podcast, and the first thing that happens is he throws CJ Gardner-Johnson onto the bus, and now he has to go back into the locker room and have that little tension. There's just no reason for it. Why even allow it to be?
Just be a grown-up. Just be a grown-up. It's not that complicated. Just
be a coach. Like,
you're an adult.
Shut up.
You
don't need to answer every single question that's asked to you.
Just because they asked you doesn't mean you had to answer it.
Right. And you don't have to answer it with a 5-paragraph essay either.
He loves doing that.
It's killing me. I'm over it already.
We got to talk about this because this team is in the news for multiple reasons. The Jets, boy, what a gross game that was.
It was bad.
It was so bad that it has now led
and Titans Dolphins has set us back at least a year.
Devontae Adams talk is in full swing, and Notorious B.I.G. saying thinks Adam either goes to Nala, go to play with Derek Carr so he can have interceptions thrown again, or to the Jets. I presented a third more spicy option. It's the Washington Commanders. That's where I want him to go.
I wouldn't sleep on the Steelers either.
God, please no. Why? Receivers don't go to Pittsburgh. They
keep trying to get them. And the Raiders might just be like, fuck it, go play with Justin Fields. Have fun.
Yeah, I know. Look, okay, who's the full wide receiver room though? The Jets can afford. You'll trade one. The Jets need one.
Nola is more full, but I still don't think it's full. I don't think Washington's full, and I don't think Pittsburgh's full.
Washington is not full. Noah Brown's not hit. Noah Brown or Devontae Adams. You pick who you want to throw the ball to. Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to think about it. I don't think you need it.
Jordan, I'm going to give him car salesman. I think he's better than Walmart.
Nah, he's definitely like...
Although he does have the in with the Walton family.
It's at least State Farm insurance, right? He's an insurance.
How do they not have Malik Neighbors on a State Farm ad yet?
I don't know.
They should have poached him up as soon as he got drafted.
100%.
They should have had Dante Exum them, just like he gets drafted and the next thing on the TV is a State Farm Malik Neighbors ad. Just like, we were fucking waiting for this, man.
Could not wait. I don't know, man. I don't know where do you go? Where do you go if you're Devontae Adams? You want to win.
If it were me, I'd do anything to get with what Tao said, either the Chiefs or I go back with Aaron Rodgers. I would not in a million years go back to Derek Carr, but that might just be
he's not going to the Chiefs. The Raiders aren't going to trade within the division.
I know.
Like
they wouldn't
people keep saying, "Oh, he's a Chief now." And I was like, in what world is Kansas City?
I mean, you asked me if I was Devontae Adams. I would ask to go to those two places.
I know, I get that. You're not getting a division trade.
No,
there's no way.
There's no way they would do that.
Like zero shot. Baltimore won't
at the end of the day, Devontae Adams doesn't have any say where he goes at all. Ship him to whoever gives me the best offer. If you want to give up on my team, why the fuck would I have any loyalty to you? And that's what I'm saying. I think he might go to Pittsburgh. They would try to get Ayuk. They tried to sign a bunch of people in the offseason. They were interested in T. Higgins. Why would
they're not going to send him to San Francisco? Send him to San Francisco?
And just had a bad game because they had no weapons. It just makes sense.
I know. All right, where you want to go next?
You talk Lions Seahawks. That game was electric.
That was phenomenal. Game of the week.
So many memes comparing the Dolphins and Titans game to the Lions and Seahawks. It was
so
fantastic. It was the contrast was crazy. The duality of man.
The duality of NFL football.
But the Lions are incredible. You mentioned Ben Johnson earlier. He just has a perfect mastery of that offense. He knows exactly what to call and when. Jared Goff went 18 for fucking 18. Jared Goff, the same guy that put up 3 points in a Super Bowl, went 18 for 18 with damn near 300 yards. He caught a touchdown pass. The Lions were out there just dogging on the Seahawks. And Seattle kept up.
I know.
They played great. Geno Smith had a career high in yards. Like,
they went off.
Anytime these two teams play, it's electric. And this is the third time they've played in 3 years, excuse me.
Yeah, they're good, man. That's a good matchup.
It's electric every time.
I like what the Lions are doing. They're still the second best team in their division. It's not their fault.
Also, Jameson Williams is just legit at this point. Are we gonna have to agree on that?
Yeah, we'll agree. I'll agree with that.
I thought he was a bust for sure, and then all of a sudden this year he just hasn't stopped. It's like, it's one game. It's 2 games. It's like, he's just a weapon. He's never going to be a number 1, I don't think, but he's a weapon for sure.
First set of stocking stuffer you can have him. No, that's not
Laffy Taffy and a Hot Wheels.
That's not the word on the street. Word on the street is less than that. Looking for a 2 with a package. Less than, you're not even going to get a 1 for him. Not a 1. You might get a couple of 2s, but you're not getting a 1. Steelers Colts. Want to talk Steelers Colts?
Yeah, we can do that. Justin Fields single-handedly kept the Steelers in the game and single-handedly lost them the game.
What world are we living in where Justin Fields is a comparable quarterback to Patrick Mahomes statistically?
I don't know, man. Life's been weird lately.
What an upside-down world we live in.
Sam Darnold is like the leading MVP candidate. Something switched.
Also, shame on Indy. Your guy gets hurt. And then you're like...
He doesn't know how to slide.
Just rub some dirt on it and you'll be fine. And then they send him back out and he gets hurt immediately.
Immediately got hurt again. He doesn't know how to slide. You could see him try, and his body just didn't know what to do. He locked up and kind of kneeled, and then got a headshot from Minkah Fitzpatrick on the way down. And then Minkah was like, he didn't slide. It's like, no, he really didn't. I think he's just physically incapable. Has anyone actually ever seen Anthony Richardson slide?
No, he doesn't know. He needs slide practice. My favorite part of this game is that Joe Flacco came in, threw 168 and 2 tutties.
It's just what he does. He comes in and he makes plays and he wins ball games.
It's pretty impressive, man.
Miami
Joe
fucked
Flacco.
up by not trading for him like immediately.
They had a chance.
Yeah, now AR's hurt and the Colts are like, hey, it's a good thing we have Joe Flacco.
Joe fucking Flacco.
You have to pry him out of their cold dead hands.
Good luck. They're not giving him up. No way. He's it.
Dolphins are dead too.
They're so dead. They're probably still going to beat us, but they're dead.
Dead in the water. I don't know if they do.
I think they do.
They couldn't do anything on offense.
I know they couldn't, but I think that was
that
more to do
offensive
with
line is like that. I think might have the 2 worst offensive lines in the league. Jalen Phillips is the only thing holding their defensive line together, and he just went out again.
It sounds familiar.
I don't know if he was back at practice. I haven't looked, but
it sounds familiar. We have a couple of those guys. They're all gone.
Mike McDaniels looks rough, dude. He just keeps he looks worse and worse every week. He looks like he hasn't slept since Tua got hurt. He also just
indulging a little that Miami
some nose clams.
Miami life, you know.
He keeps calling the offense like Tua is still under center too.
Yeah, you can't do that.
He's had Skylar Thompson and Snoop Huntley, Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley, by the way, which that's going to be the biggest indictment of all time on the Pro Bowl. You say what you want about Mac Jones, but the fact that Tyler Huntley made a Pro Bowl for 4 starts in place of Lamar Jackson is insane. That's the worst Pro Bowl stat that there is. But they're dead in the water.
That was their division to win. This is their chance.
Do you have to draft a quarterback, right? I know we're a long ways out from the draft, but say they keep on this skid and they have like a top 5 pick, you have to go QB.
I think you do. How do you not?
Tua cannot take another hit. I'm sorry. I know he doesn't want to retire, and they say he's going to be back on the field, but he can't do it.
His best friend got hurt, and he's sad.
He does look greasy.
Oh, Mike McDaniel.
He looks like there's fast food wrappers on his bed, like the foot of the bed, not like right where he sleeps, but they're there.
We have a couple of Super Bowl contending teams from last season who got absolutely dog walked in every single facet of the game last week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers absolutely. I told you to play Baker Mayfield. I told you that. I
told you I wanted no part of this game, and then as soon as it started, I was like, I'm sure it was right.
I told you to take the Buccaneers, and they proceeded to absolutely destroy the Eagles. And the other game that I'm referencing is Baltimore just literally ran all over Buffalo.
I apologize for taking the Buffalo Bills. We can get to that one first.
Okay. Buffalo
sincerely apologize to Tao and other Ravens fans for believing in the Buffalo Bills. I said it too. I knew they were due for one. They do this every year. They start to rattle some off, and then they lay an egg.
So Josh Allen looks like the MVP in the beginning. This is it.
I hate that, but honestly, after this weekend, it was fair. I've been on a heater. I've been doing really well, but this weekend was abysmal. Everything I did, it was the opposite. I couldn't buy it. But the safety on Monday night was just the cherry on top. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, that sums it up.
Absolute nonsense.
Doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I'm going to be back next week. I'm going to fucking win it back.
That's what we do.
It's a mentality.
Buffalo looked like they were going to roll. And now I don't think so. I thought I was going to have to write an apology letter to Bills fans, but God, that was a bad game. It was just so ugly. And Baltimore was just like, we'll just keep running. We got this guy. Derrick Henry and his giant braid was there.
That's what killed me was the defense. And Derrick Henry looked like he was running away from children on that first run of the game. As soon as Josh Allen sorry, I got distracted by Tao's comment. As soon as Baltimore took the ball over and they just handed it off to Derrick Henry and he took off for was 87,
Yeah, it was
83-yard
ridiculous.
touchdown.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this game's over.
Yeah, it was over.
Buffalo's never going to come back after that. They took it the first time they touched the ball. They went all that way. They ran through them. I didn't think Buffalo's defense was going to be great at the start of the season, especially with no Matt Milano. He really holds that whole unit together.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got surprised a little bit. They didn't do great against Arizona, but they've been pretty decent the last 2 weeks. They are exactly what I thought they were. They got Teron Johnson coming back. He's been cleared to practice, which is going to help the secondary, hopefully. And Allen finally seemed to start looking for Keon Coleman, which was cool. They hit the same play down the left sideline.
It's about time.
Plays. They need something. That was where I was going with that. Khalil Shakir is obviously Josh Allen's favorite target. He's a slot receiver.
Fine.
He's not a number one. He's fine. That can be your safety blanket, but you're not going to. That's not going to be your
He's
number
not your
one.
Big play. He's not your big play break. No.
And they drafted Keon Coleman to be that. So you need to get on the same page as that guy. You need to get Dalton Kincaid more involved. It's kind of wild to say this, but James Cook was like the afterthought for a couple of years there. And now he's like their most consistent weapon, but he needs help. You need to get the ball to other guys.
You got to throw it to open up the run.
For sure.
You can't open up the run.
Josh Allen's obviously incredible. That throw he made rolling to his right, going out of bounds when he got hit. Oh my God.
He's so good.
He's so good. He's incredible. He was hurt too. But the defense really scares me. They're going to cost them. And
they're not going to win anything.
Got suspended too for 4 games.
Yeah, they're not going to win anything.
He hasn't done anything this year anyway. But
Jets are going to win this division now, even though they're 2-2.
They also see Stephon Diggs this week in Houston.
Yeah, they do. That'll be good. CJ Stroud's going to feed Diggs all day long.
100%. I'm hammering Stephon Diggs this week.
All day long. Just
right in Josh Allen's face. They're just going to run him to the Bills sideline every single play.
The Buccaneers owning the Eagles was also an interesting thing to see.
He did, Joyner. 4 games. Yeah. But they did nothing to Rashee Rice. God smited him because the NFL wouldn't.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Are the Eagles cooked? Are they like fully cooked?
Yes, dead in the water. They need to fire Sirianni. They need to clean house. Eagles are dead.
Like, it feels like Jalen Hurts has no confidence in any of the plays that are called.
They've lost 11 of their last 13 or something. They
lost 2 in a row now, right? And God, it's ugly. It just doesn't look good. They had 0 yards and a half.
They got some at the 6-minute mark, but regardless, that's crazy.
You can't have
with that roster.
What are we?
I know guys are hurt and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Also, Kelvin Moore's supposed to be this incredible play caller. Have they run motion at all this year? They put one guy. No. You're out your 2 best weapons on
fire them all
offense, and you're doing nothing to try to get these guys.
The biggest thing that I noticed was when they were trying to get the ball to a receiver, it was Paris Campbell, and that makes no damn sense.
None.
Made no sense.
And Jalen Hurts just does the same fucking shit every week.
Yeah, he does.
Every week. He's good for a fumble and a pick every single week.
I had to bench him on fantasy.
I'm in some dynasty league that is my dad is the commissioner, and I need to ask him what the fuck he did to the scoring. But Jalen Hurts is projected 50 points every week in that league. I have no idea what it was not like that last year. I don't know what he changed. I keep meaning to ask him, but I haven't gotten around to it. Eagles are dead. They're fucked.
Eagles are dead. They're dead. Let's touch quickly. Falcons beating the Saints.
That's
cool with the 60.
They didn't mean to. Yarder. At least their offense didn't. Oh, yeah. How many muffed punts and muffed kickoffs were there this weekend?
Too many.
It was crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen so many in a weekend. The start of red zone was muffed punt, and another muffed punt.
It was just insanity.
And none other than the Falcons game did it happen more.
Vikings,
incredible. He's a great kicker. That Falcons game was pretty gross all around. And the Saints
Nobody.
started out real hot. Everyone was in love with that offense, and they did exactly what I thought they would do. Coming back down to earth. This is Derek Carr, baby.
Derek Carr's throwing interceptions when it matters most.
Exactly. Death, taxes, Derek Carr being a dumpster fire.
Derek Carr throwing a pick on a game-winning drive. Vikings still 4-0, baby. Still undefeated.
They're incredible. They've been fantastic. And they just got Jordan Addison back. 2 tutties.
So Jordan Love looked pretty good in that game. Eventually. He kind of like opened up. He wasn't great in the beginning.
It was bad at the beginning.
He's so rusty. Should not have had
he
no
did.
business.
The fourth quarter was great. He had like 200 something yards, 3 touchdowns, still on a pick, but
he needed to take that week off. That should have been the last Malik Willis game, in my opinion.
Agreed. They should have rolled with it one more week. Ty, you can fact check that. I don't know that. If it is, I'd be shocked.
I don't think
my rebuttal. There's no way. My rebuttal to that would be, why were they down? Why were they down that often?
They had I'll look it up.
I don't think that's true. There's no way. I'm going to need a fact check on that. Also, can we get does Kyle Pitts exist? Is he officially dead? I saw this dude, I don't know if he was just trying to push a narrative on Twitter because people like to do that, but he just kept posting videos of Kyle Pitts not being open and Kirk Cousins trying to force him the ball. I haven't watched enough Falcons.
He's not top 10, Tao. He's 14th. I'm on Pro Football Reference.
Big win for me over here.
Number 1, Tommy. Peyton, number 2, Ben Roethlisberger, number 3, Matty Ice, number 4, Drew Brees and Matt Stafford, both with 36 at number 5, which means number 6 doesn't exist. Number 7th is Johnny Unitas. 8th is Dan Marino, John Elway. Lots of top, yeah, but that's you don't get to add extra spaces because of that. John Elway and Russell Wilson at 31. Rivers.
It's Canada, Tao. He's got a different system.
Vinny Testaverde at 11, and then 14 is Derek Carr. Look, 14th all time, like in the
14th
history.
In the sweet spot where it's like, why were you down that often?
As
many fourth quarter comebacks?
As one more than Eli Manning, and he's tied with Brett Favre. So like he's in good company, but like let's not give him more. He's got the chance to be top 10. If he leads 3 more comebacks, that'll put him into the top 10. That'll beat Phillip Rivers. He gets to 30th. He beats Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers is rich in spirit, though.
It's incredibly notable. Ryan Tannehill is on this list as well, and so is Andy Dalton.
Shout out to the Red Rifle, just for hanging around.
He did it.
Does Andy Dalton being on that list make you feel better about Derek Carr? Because it shouldn't.
It shouldn't. Anything else NFL notable other than Devontae wants out? What do you want to touch on before we get to the Giants are a dumpster fire? They lost to the Cowboys again.
Yeah, that was a brutal one. I feel like we kind of
got the big points. We got the big ones. Yeah. The Raiders beat the Browns.
Bears improved a little bit.
The Bears look better. They're slowly getting better.
They changed. You could tell they visibly changed it up.
Yeah,
like they were running the ball a whole lot more often. They changed what they were doing in the red zone. It was less gimmicky shit and more just like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna put Roshan back there in an eye for him, and we're gonna make shit happen. And it worked. They got a win. Defense came up again after a mysterious letdown here and there, but they've been great.
Yeah.
They were 31st in the NFL in rushing yards. They doubled their rushing total in week 4.
Jerry
I saw that, but then you can't afford Derrick Henry. Excuse me. We just didn't have enough money for Derrick Henry as he lands a helicopter and fucking. Oh my God.
He's the only game that I want to touch on before we get to double stone stories and get out of here is the Jacksonville Jaguars are out of life. They are deceased. 0-4.
What's more shocking to you, the Vikings being 4-0 or the Jags being 0-4? What's more surprising?
The Jags.
I think so too.
By a lot. By a lot for me. I think that Jacksonville should be better. Whatever's going on in Trevor Lawrence, he has like the biggest case of the yips I've ever seen. His accuracy since he's come back from injury has been awful. It's been awful. And yes, the Raiders absolutely beat the Browns. I acknowledge that. Raiders won. I still didn't want to watch it.
They shouldn't have. If Amari Cooper didn't have a drop and they didn't have a play called back, they wouldn't have.
Still didn't want to watch it. Jacksonville they're in trouble, man. I don't know how you fix that.
You're tied to Trevor Lawrence, so you're gonna have to figure it out.
Out of there? Is it Peterson? Is he the problem?
But what's that solve you? Like, you think somebody's just gonna come in and magically fix Trevor Lawrence? I mean, honestly, he didn't look terrible when Doug Peterson was calling plays.
They need to figure out what's going on.
Now Press Taylor is calling plays out there, and it's looked a little bit different since then. So Doug Peterson won't come off of Press Taylor, though, for some reason. So you might have to get rid of Doug Peterson for shit to change. I don't know if it will, but I still don't think that roster's built entirely too well to begin with.
It's not. Hey, it's time for Stone Stories. We got a little double take here.
Yeah, we do. We got a little double dip. I saw this one, and it wasn't exactly our forte, but I figured we would go through it anyway because it's out there. I got this headline like right as I was leaving work today. But anyway, an 81-year-old rancher from Montana was just arrested. Sorry, I lost my spot. It was revealed that he spent the past decade harvesting parts from protected wildlife to create a giant hybrid species of wild sheep. He then planned on selling this giant new sheep that he created across the country for like private hunts, like trophy hunts. It was gonna be like it's only so many of them. He'll sell them off to these rich billionaires, millionaires, whoever, and they can just hunt them and put them on their shelf. Doesn't make too much sense to me. But anyway, this scheme allegedly began in 2013, shortly after a livestock worker returned to the U.S. from Kyrgyzstan and delivered tissue from the Marco Polo Argali sheep to this guy named Jack Schubarth. Prosecutors later explained that for nearly a decade, up until 2021, Schubarth illegally used this tissue, which is banned in Montana, to create a new mammoth species. Part of his motivation, as I said, was to extort people for captive trophy hunting. He was just going to charge an exorbitantly large price for these sheep. Basically, their defense, his attorney's defense, was like that this whole thing ruined his life. He's like his family don't want to talk to him anymore. I want to know how this like Montana hillbilly. I don't want to say hillbilly because I don't know if it's different in Montana. Like I feel like hillbilly has a South connotation to it, but who knows?
Yellowstone did get weird.
For real. How is this guy like 80-something years old and he's just cloning shit in his basement? He had like live specimen. Like, he had been doing this for fucking 20 years. It's crazy to me. It blew my mind. Also, people are like, did he actually commit a crime? Like they had issues trying to charge him with a crime. Because anything they could actually charge him with was a super low amount of time, and they wanted to discourage people from actually trying to do this themselves. But apparently it might not be that hard if this guy figured it out. He just did it in his basement in Montana. Nobody's checking up on people out there. It's like two cops per town. They have to switch off shifts. There's only so many places you can be. You're not going to check some old man's basement to see if he's cloning sheep.
3 Red Bull and some meth later, and this man's cloning some shit. He's just like,
got the perfect dose, Jesse.
I've got it. I've got it figured out, man. I figured it out.
Oh, fucking A. And then more in our wheelhouse. We're headed to Oklahoma. Oklahoma Highway Patrol said a man named Cody Adams stole a pickup and drove himself to his own court date. Trooper said Adams was at a Stillwater gas station asking people for a ride to his court date in Pawnee, Oklahoma, when he reminded me of Parks and Rec there. When he couldn't find a ride, Trooper said Adams decided to hop in an unoccupied LifeNet emergency services pickup, just about the worst pickup to steal. You rolled the dice and you lost on that one, brother. Quote, It was left on, running, and unattended. Trooper said Adams took the truck on a 30-minute drive to Pawnee and then ditched it when he realized that he had passed a cop, got scared, and was like, fuck, I fucked up. Got to get rid of this. First responders had an idea of where that vehicle might be located. A trooper caught Adams as he was walking into the courthouse. Said he was just borrowing the truck. They arrested him, took his information, let him go into court. Guess what he was fighting in court, Armchair? You have a
it's got to be something like grand theft or like
unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Yeah,
you would be correct.
Yeah,
he stole a car to go to his court date for stealing a car.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. Oklahoma's finest right there. I'm glad that they let him go into court though. They could have just took him into custody, got him on both hey, you missed your court date and you have these new charges. He was like, I'm already in deep tow. I might as well, right? I need to get to this court date.
This is that guy that was on court cam
for an Uber from steal an ambulance.
It's the guy on the suspended license attending his virtual court meeting from his vehicle.
That guy was fantastic. Oh my God. They're
same energy.
The judge rifling through the papers. Is this not what his crime is?
I'm pretty sure that's his crime. They were like, this is his crime for
sure. Are
sure.
you driving? The face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't even think about it.
Didn't even consider it. That's it for us. We did it. We managed to stay on task and get through it.
We did. We got through that. We nailed that.
We crushed it.
Crushed 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you want to send support to the boys, Jeremy and Tank, shoot me a message because I will absolutely get you in touch with them. We'll figure that out. I don't know what Sunday looks like. No idea. I don't think the boys are going to be back by then. If they are, we'll figure it out. There is a London game, so make sure to set your lineups early. And yes, I did not see the
I'm watching it right now. It's fantastic.
I'm
just trying not to laugh while she's like, how do you plead?
Plead innocent.
Steal a Dan Marino jersey. The guy's just stone-faced in a Dan Marino jersey. It's literally a Family Guy cutaway.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. For Dubs, I'm Armchair. We'll see you next week here on Grey North Sports. We appreciate everyone for dropping by.
I didn't see Doyle either, but I did look at the Barefoot Bandit.
Doyle will be back.
Yeah.